Yo, what up YouTube gang? I'm Jay Pats for those of you that don't know, and today we're going to be breaking down this grimy boom bap beat that I made without using any samples. It's something that I could hear like anyone from Griselda on, like Benny or Conway. So I'm going to just show you a preview of the beat right now, and let's just jump right into it. Yeah, so you could hear just grimy, simple, the way I like all my beats. If you watch my videos, you know that already. So I'm gonna show you how I started with the melody, and then we'll get into the drums and the bass. All right, so the first thing that inspired me were these strings. What I did here was actually pretty cool. I went into Philharmonic and grabbed these strings and just played it like super sloppy. And then I froze that into audio and then put it into Serato sample. So this what I turned it into. I pitched it down and stretched it out a bit. You could tell it really just gave it that old vinyl grimy texture. And I added this free cymatics plugin called Origin, so definitely cop that. So that was the first thing that inspired me. And I just started adding other layers on. So I think what I did next was organ. Dark, weird, spacey, kind of horror-ish sounding. So that with the strings. You could already tell the vibe I was going for once you hear just those two sounds. So just to make the sample that I was making feel like it had a little bit more movement, I added this Ilya FMR electric guitar, just playing two different notes, one here, and then one here. So with the strings and the organ that I have, it sounds like this. And with this beat, I was kind of just going for textures, as you could tell already. Just adding variation that way was kind of what I was trying to do. So the next texture I added was the sound from Labs, which is a free VST. You definitely need to get that if you don't have it already. And this is what it sounds like. Let me see if I can find the MIDI for it. So I just froze that. I'll show you what we have with the strings, the organ, the guitar, and then that texture. Just a lot of tension, and that's exactly what you're going for with this kind of style. Next, I had this other Ambience, also from Labs. Like I was saying, don't sleep on Labs because it's fire and it's free. So just that, I thought it sounded cool in the beat. And then another texture. Just those random sounds sound fire. And then another sound from Labs, and this is a flute. This is how the entire melody sounded when I was done with it, and I was like, okay, it's time to add bass and drums. Here's what we got. Sometimes when I have a melody, I just listen to it, and for some reason like a bass line comes to me, and I'm not saying I make crazy bass lines. This was like probably one of the most simple bass lines I've ever done, but for some reason these two notes came to me, and that's what I felt like the whole beat needed. Didn't need anything crazy. This was the bass I did. Just sounded dark, and you could see right here it's just going up half a step, so going from D to D sharp, and that's used a lot to create kind of like a tension type of sound. Like if you listen to the Jaws soundtrack, that is going up 1/2 steps. Just kind of creates this like dark, scary, something's about to happen type of sounds. That's what popped up into my head, and that's what I did. For the drums, kept it mad simple like I always do in all my beats. So if you've been keeping up with them, I think you're catching on to the trend here. Just choosing the right sounds and not overdoing it, so your beats are simple yet sound good. Here's what I did with the kick. Then the snare. Then the hats. And just to give the hats more texture, I think I added a sketch cassette on there. Just as like another texture for the drums, I filtered out these drums and I just added those under my drums. I don't know if it was fully necessary, but I did it for some reasons. This is how all the drums sound together. You can tell, I swear, I pretty much say this on every video now, but everything you see is simple as hell, but it's just about making the right sound selection. You don't need to have a million tracks in your beats. Like, this is what? How many tracks with the melody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's including like textures and little sounds and that, you know? Keep your beats simple. Just have good sound selection, and I think you'll learn a lot of that if you just watch my videos, because this literally comes up in every single video that I have. It's like I'm breaking down the beat and then you just see how basic it is, and there's nothing more I could say. It's just that simple, just choosing the right sounds. Alright, so this is how everything sounds together. So I'll break down the arrangement for you real quick. First we start with a 2-bar intro. Then we have a 16-bar verse. You can tell I took out the strings for the first 8 bars and then brought them back in for the second half. And then we have an 8-bar hook. And what I did was bring the flute in for the hook. And then essentially the same thing all over again. So the first 8 bars of the verse has no strings. Second half, I bring the strings back in. And then for the last hook, I bring in the flute. And then we just have a 2-bar outro, the same thing as the intro. So that's literally how you make some grimy boom bap without using any samples. Hopefully there's a gem or two in there that could help you out with your own beats so you could add your own style to them. If you dig in the content, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so that you don't miss another video from me. I'm going to keep dropping these gems like I've been telling you, so stay tuned. Thanks for checking out the video. I'm Jay Pats. Peace.